I saw that you were really touched by the poem. Me too. So let's review before we move on. We want to make sure that we all have the same understanding before we build up on what we have. We share with you the three essential elements of the spiritual path. I'm going to make a big statement. Irrelevant which path you're on. Just like in our life, whether you are an executive, somebody sweeping the street, an engineer, a doctor, the path you're on is the path you are on. We all don't have to be a doctor to save life. We can save life exactly where we are. The form, the method, is not as important as we think. However, in our life, the way we're growing up and the way we've been trained, you got to be a doctor. You got to be a lawyer. You got to be whatever. And what I'm suggesting to you here is, regardless of the path you are on, there are three essential things that we need to achieve, to have. So if you are a doctor and you are motionless, you have no integrity, you're not a good doctor. And similarly, on the spiritual path, regardless of the tradition that you are in, these are the three essential elements that you need to have. So don't focus on whether I'm a meditator, whether I'm a one that on the tradition of chanting, whether I'm one on something else. It's irrelevant. But does that tradition give you these? And again, that's why we are focused on the wisdom here. And we don't care about what practice you do. What were those three essential elements of the spiritual path? Anybody remember?
Truth.
That's just one.
Realistic. How about peace?
Who cares? Since we are getting serious now, we're going to go directly to the important things. Peace is what?
It's the result.
Peace is a feeling. A feeling is the result of something else. You're going after and you're chasing the result, and you don't know what the cause is, you are in trouble. Happiness. If you're chasing after happiness and you don't know what brings you happiness, you're in trouble. You got to understand the cause. All of these are the result. And that's why these are important that we need to have in order to have, let's say for now, good results. Let's make it a little bit more simpler to understand. Truth means as it is. A lot of time that can be misleading, so we're going to use as many definitions as we can. Truth means as it is. Realistic, what does that mean? Here and now. I'm not talking about tomorrow. Who knows what happened tomorrow? I'm not even talking about the next moment. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about right here and now. That's what realistic means. What is it practical? Practical means doable. Yeah. It has to be doable. By whom? You. Well, in this case, you. Another thing that we learned yesterday was at any moment in life, we are either live with the truth or we are living with the illusion. This is probably a good time to learn Vietnamese. At any moment in life, either with the truth or you're not with the truth. There's no in between, okay? When you're living with the truth, what does that mean? As it is. If you're living without, what does that mean? As you think. It's one of those two. Which one are you at this moment? Unfortunately, majority of the time we are here. We always want it to be something else. We always wish it to be something else. We love it to be, and by the way, the list is long, I'm just summarizing it, something else. Meet our desire. I mean, David is a wonderful guy, but I wish he can be a little bit better. Around 5:30, he knows down in the kitchen. I came down and I see David. He's wonderful, but you know he's much more better if he's wake up at 4:30. We are often here. The path that we are on is meditation. We are on the meditation tradition path, which is Thaying. What does that mean? We're talking about Vipassana and what that definition is. So it's about what? It's seeing or experiencing the truth, because that's what clearly means, via our body, our feeling, our mind, and about this is quite complicated, so I'm going to give you an easier version to understand. Relationship with the moment through those four aspects. You can see we are systematically walking through. We said we want to be with the truth. It's got to be right now, here. It's got to be doable. And by the way, the truth is, as it is. How do you get to as it is? Experience clearly with the body, the feeling, the mind, and the relationship with the moment. You got the key. Uber, are you ready to leave? We also talk about the four levels of awakening. Anybody remember what they are? What does Hai Nguyen mean?
Someone pointing to the direction.
It started with somebody pointing it out for you. A teacher, somebody pointed out to you and said, I know that, that is that. And then you're able to comprehend and understand it. What does chứng ngộ mean?
Experience.
You're able to understand it, and then you're able to experience it. And then once you experience, and you realize the entire things. It's important to know that these two are really at the theory level, just the understanding level. And these are only achievable through experience. And it's key to know that awakening requires both understanding the theory, experience it yourself. Another wonderful example of the difference is knowing how to cook a good meal will not give you the ability to cook a good meal. Having the recipe is here. I need to have the experience before I'm able to cook a good meal. And that's the difference. The challenge is we are staying here. We know a lot. Matter of fact, I will bet you majority of what I share with you, you said, oh yeah, you understood it right away. But we lack this part. That's why we understand where difficulty coming from, but we still have difficulty. Knowing how to cook a good meal doesn't give you the ability to cook a good meal. That's summarizing what we shared last night. Any questions, comments? Before we roll up our sleeve and get serious. Let me share with you. Is it better for us to be an optimist or a pessimist? Is it better for me to wear my roses glasses or the other glasses that things always gloomy and sad?
About fearless.
So Ted said neither, and so do I. In life, often we've been raised and said, we got to be optimists. We got to shoot for the star. We got to be an optimist. So we'll be better. On a spiritual path, optimists or pessimists, they're both illusion. We got to be a realist to be with whatever it is, so that we are able to see why that as it is giving us difficulty. If we keep covering it up, being optimists or pessimists, if we continue to cover it up because we don't want to look at the truth, how do we know? When are we going to be able to understand and really find the truth? We got to be a realist. A realist means what? Exactly as it is, accurately. Does our mind does that? Let's talk a little bit about this thing called the mind. We know them real well, right? We live with it every moment. Do we know real well? A lot of people shaking their head. There are two sides of the mind that we need to share with you. Let's talk about the easy one first. It's called the state of the mind. Trạng thái tâm. The state of the mind. If we talk about states, plural, which means that there are many states. How many states there are? There are 4 states of the mind. The first one is chánh niệm, which means mindfulness. Imagine the mind is like a mirror that we are looking at in the morning when we come out here. When the mind is mindful, it means that the mirror is clean. The mirror is straight, so it's able to reflect what's in front of it accurately. That's what mindfulness means. When we are able to experience the moment as it is, which is experience it correctly, experience accurately, and just like the mirror, you stand in front and you look beautiful. The mirror able to reflect what's in front of it accurately. That's mindfulness. Very easy to understand. The term mindfulness sometimes is very confusing, but that's what I mean. A straight and clean mirror. Yes, Wang Ngong.
I have a question about the straight. Why it have to be straight? If you look at the angle, you cannot see yourself.
If I don't stand in front of it, if I stand over here, the mirror is gonna reflect whatever in front of it. And the mirror is straight, so the reflection is exact as whatever the object in front of it. So it's gotta be straight. And if it's not clean, if there's dust, then it won't be able to reflect what's in front of it. So it has to be straight and clean. Guess what, people? Get your Windex out and wash your mind. What is another state of the mind? Thất niệm mean what? Distracted mind. What is a distracted mind? If we look at it from the aspect of the mirror, instead of the mirror straight and pointing right in front, it tilted to a side. And because it tilted to a side, it's not able to reflect what's right in front of it. In the case of the mind, because we are distracted, our loved one can be in front of us talking to us and we didn't hear a thing. It's going to be so easy. It's not as complicated as it is. We keep using these 2,000 years old languages that continue to make it so complicated and difficult to understand, but it's very straightforward. What is the third state of the mind? Tạp niệm, what does that mean? The mind is full. When your mind is full, I mean overwhelmed, because you think about this, you think about that, you're not going to be able to reflect what's right in front of you. It just went over 1,000 things. So it's full. There's a good image of a full mind. The mirror is shaking. It's trying to process way too many things. The mirror is not still. It's shaking. Our mind is running to this thought, running to this worry, running to this plan, running to this desire, running to that. The mind is full. Imagine a mirror that is shaking. Can you see anything in front of it? Nah, everything is blurred. What's the last one? What does vọng niệm mean? A perceived mind means the object is right in front of it, but it's reflecting in its own way. It's not accurately reflecting what's in front of it because the mirror is warped. The mirror is warped. You are very beautiful, you stand in front of it, and you look like this. Or you look like this. The mirror is warped. Unable to reflect accurately what's in front of it. Those are the four states of the mind. Which state are we in now? In this moment? Is your mirror clean? Is your mirror warped? Is your mirror tilted? Is your mirror shaking? The reason I'm sharing with you very detailed is the fact that the mind is the driver of this car, this body. Until you understand the mind, you have no idea where this car is going. And the more you understand about this mind, the better we are. We often focus and pay attention to the wrong thing. We don't like what's happening out there. We're going to fix what's happening out there. We don't like our spouse. We fix our spouse. We don't like the house we live in. We move to a new house. Unfortunately, the spouse, our loved one, and the house are the object that the mind is reflecting. But if the mind is warped, I don't care how many spouses you're going to get. It's not going to be what you want, what you need. I don't care how many house you're going to move into. You won't be happy if the mirror it keeps shaking. We are fixing the wrong things. We need to focus our energy and time into aware of the mind, the source, the receiver of life. And that's why I'm taking the time to share with you how important this is. So you don't fix the wrong things. The obvious next step is, how do we keep our mirror clean and straight? That's the obvious next step.
I have a tentative answer to that question, because what I've learned from other sources, what I've heard here and there, is that to the mirror to be straight and clean, is that you let go of your illusions, of your desires, kind of cleanse your soul. Um, does that come close?
Let me share with you. Before we're able to recognize that it is desire or illusion, we need to be aware of it first. In order to aware of it first, we have to be mindful. What you share is absolutely correct, but it's out here. It's the 20 step. The first step, you have to be able to experience it accurately, truthfully first. To realize that, oh yeah, that is that. And that is that doesn't meet your desire. So this is what you want. And you'll be able to figure out what I want. Is it a necessity or is it a wanting? And on and on. That's how I'm saying the 20 step. We are starting from one. We said, number one, you have to be able to experience it accurately. Right off the bat, 1 in 4 chances we're not. That's how challenging it is. Back to how do we increase our chance to be more mindful and less distracted? So how do we do that? There are 2 conditions for mindfulness to be possible. Without these 2 conditions, without these 2 elements, mindfulness is not possible.
Awareness.
Oh, that's free. Awareness is free. A matter of fact, one of the things that we don't have to worry about is awareness, because we're always aware. Tell me when you're not aware. As long as you can breathe, it's there. There are 2 essential conditions for mindfulness to be possible. One is natural. The awareness that we are talking about has to be natural. What does natural mean? Is there something that's artificial? Let's talk about the next one, openness. Mindfulness is not possible without openness. Let's use an example, make it easy. Imagine you have a camera. When you take a picture of a camera, take a picture of the whole view. It doesn't focus on anything. It's got that whole view. It's got everybody. And when you take a picture, everybody are pretty sharp in that picture. And that's what I mean by openness. You walk into a room, you're aware of everything. But once you see your spouse, suddenly you zoom in, you zoom your attention in, you zoom your awareness in. That's the only person that you saw in that whole room. And suddenly you don't see anything else. Your camera is now zoomed in. And that is not open because your rationale was you paying attention to that because it's important, but unknowingly you are excluding everything else. And you're no longer open. Being mindful, you have to be open, and the awareness has to be natural. You don't manipulate your awareness. Any concern issue with what I just said? I'm waiting for the spear to fly my way. Because what I told you is in conflict with the traditional definition of mindfulness. So the fact that I didn't see any spear yet, it means that I got some new people here. The typical definition of mindfulness is you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. That's the problem. Let me explain. When you say you are paying attention, what does that mean? It's mean that number one, you are no longer natural. You are paying attention with a purpose. You are aware with a purpose. So it's no longer natural. Number two, you are trying to get what you want. Suddenly, that awareness has been manipulated. When someone comes and shows you a problem, whether it's your friend, your loved one, and you listen to it, what do? In here, the machine is running. Okay, how do I solve it? How do I help that person? And you're no longer able to listen fully. You listen with an agenda. And I'm telling you, if you're going to help that person, good luck to that person. Because you are not hearing. You're already manipulating. And you're going to waive that righteousness. But I'm trying to help he or she. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Unintentionally, you may hurt that person. Here at Sinh Thuc Meditation Center, we said that when you want to be mindful, you're not mindful. That is a very profound insight statement I made. Did you hear it? When you want to be mindful, you're not mindful. Because you are mindful in the way you think is right. And that may not be correct. You have a view of what mindfulness is, and you are applying it and said, this is the way it is. It may not be correct. And here you are. If you don't want to be mindful and you just be open and aware, you have no agenda. Step out and you enjoy the view. That is the most accurate reflection of the moment. And that's called true mindfulness. Because you are able to experience everything very genuinely as they are. A lot of the other tradition, we're talking about sitting down formally, aware of the breath in and out our body. If you have a short breath, aware of the short breath. If you have a long breath, aware. And I can give you a whole 9 yards because we know exactly what that is. We've been doing this for a long time. But you are practicing it with a purpose, to be mindful. And suddenly, if you got 20 meditators, you got 20 different mindfulness. And neither of them are correct because they are what? Illusion, based on your thinking, based on your view, based on your understanding, not the truth. I know I dealt on this for a long time because it's key.
So if you just said you walk out and you don't have any intention, you feel the surrounding, but daily in our life, how do we get there? Because we always have things to do, worry this, worry that, and how we can.
This is the part that my job is quite difficult because our understanding about mindfulness is warped, and I'm trying to change that. There is this perception that unless we pay attention, we're not mindful. And I'm telling you, that's totally wrong. We have this model where we have to force ourselves to pay attention before we think we are mindful. When we said in the beginning, awareness is free. It's always here. At every moment of the day, you are aware. You are aware. By the way, when I was teaching class at the college, when I was young, when I have time, so we're teaching meditation in the college. The students are all range of background. I have this rubber ball. And when we're talking about mindfulness and people arguing with me, oh yeah, you got to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you don't know nothing. I take my rubber ball, I throw it at one of the students real quick. And guess what? He picked up his hand. I didn't even give him any warning. This whole big class, I have no idea why I'm throwing it. I do it real quick. And I said, how is that possible? You didn't pay attention, did you? I didn't know you were throwing at me. Okay, so how is it that you didn't pay attention? How did you do that? I don't know. I'm saying that's true mindfulness right there. Natural awareness, openness. If I was telling him, okay, I'm going to throw the ball at you now, David. Okay, get ready. That's a 50-50. He wouldn't catch it because he was calculating, okay, how he's going to throw it. Is he's going to do a curveball? Is he going to throw it to my left? Is he going to throw it to my right? That's the difference. When we say pay attention, what's another word for paying attention? Focus. This perception that we have to focus to be mindful is wrong. The more focused you are, the more tunnel vision you have, the more exclusion you have. Here's the beauty of mindfulness. Did I ask you to take a 4 years of college degree to be mindful? Did I ask you to start meditating every day for 4 hours a day? Did I ask you to read a number of sutra on the teaching? What did I say? You already got it. Stay out the way, and then you be mindful. You got everything you need to be mindful. All you need to do for me, please, stay out the way. Allow mindfulness to be with you. Stop putting an agenda on it and preventing mindfulness to be possible. Have an open mind. Allow the natural awareness to work. When we're done, you have so much time on your hand because you don't have to do anything anymore. All this practice that you thought you have to do to be mindful, it may not be needed.
I have a question, please.
Yes.
Not necessarily in the Buddhist tradition, but kind of related to spiritual exploration. It is, I'm paraphrasing, it's often claimed one way or another, babies who are newborns, first year or two of life, that because social norms and the things they learn from quote practical whatever, because they haven't had a chance to be corrupted, social, then well they're more pure, whatever. So perhaps they're more awake, they're more mindful than grown-ups. How does that square with things you're saying? Do you really believe that there's a difference between newborns and grown people in terms of ability, in terms of being in touch with themselves, with the truth?
Wonderful, Ted. Wonderful questions. I love it. Keep it coming, Ted. Let's take a poll for fun. What Ted shared is the newborn baby, do they have a better chance of being mindful than us growing up? By the way, when you say growing up, we work hard to learn. But then Ted said because we work so hard to learn, we are corrupted. We are corrupted now. We got this warped mind that no longer able to reflect. We're trying to unwarp it, which is kind of ridiculous.
Have an ego. He's an ego.
Oh my goodness. He started out another big topic, ego. Okay. Let's do a poll. How many people in here think us, I'm going to start with us first, we spend so many of our precious lifetime to learn, to be skillful on all kind of different things, be a father, be a husband, be an uncle, be a whatever. And we're now almost expert at it. But sounds like that is now an obstacle to understand the truth, which is ridiculous. We need to talk more about that. We've been wasting our time. No, let's not go there. Who's think that we have a better chance than the newborn to be able to be mindful? Raise your hand, please. What is this? You either do this proudly and surely, you don't do this. How many? Okay. I assume then the rest are saying newborn has a better chance?
Send it to you. He has a better chance.
Why don't you all go home? Bring the newborn here. I'm wasting my time. You go home. I'll bring the newborn here, please. I'm not going to be able to answer you right away, Ted. To start, when you said before, not so much about the Buddhist belief or teaching, but you're talking about in general. That's great that you said that. So let me share with you. Even though every time I said something, I said that's what the Buddha taught, But what I'm sharing with you is universal. Whether you're a Buddhist, a Catholic, Islam, a Hindu, what I'm sharing with you are relevant. The source from the Buddha doesn't mean it's a Buddhist thing. Let's be clear. What I'm sharing with you are universal. We show you there are two different paths on the spiritual path. One is on belief and one is on practicalness, science, and logical. Let's stick our foot a little bit over the belief side. The Buddhist people believe that all of us has the same nature to be awakened. All of us has the same quality of awakeness in us. Doesn't matter whether we just started out on the spiritual journey or you started out 100 years ago. Doesn't matter. All of us has the same nature to be awakened. A newborn or an adult, same. I said that's a belief because obviously we can't prove it. Let's entertain that idea. That's you and you and you has the same ability to be awakened. Regardless how long you've been on this spiritual journey, you have the same ability as I am. And I've been on this path for a long time. The real purpose of the spiritual path is to uncover all of these things that we have been covering up, that ability to be awakened. That's all we're doing. We are not practiced for this ability to be stronger. It's already strong. Like the sun, it's already strong. But all this cloud has been covering it up. And on a cloudy day, you cannot even see the sun, even though the sun is very bright. The whole spiritual journey is all about seeing all these things that we throw in front of it and blocking it. A little bit earlier, I was sharing with you that allow the natural awareness to do its job. Please stay out of the way. That's what I was saying. We have been covering up because we said, natural awareness is not important. Pay attention is what we need. So we're pushing it aside. We're covering it up. We're not allowing it to do its job. And this whole path that we're on is be able to recognize what the roadblock that we have been putting up unknowingly. We thought it's right, but we're actually covering it up. And the more we're able to uncover it, the brighter it becomes. Not because it's stronger, but because we uncover the thing that we have put on it, and now we can see it. I didn't answer your question yet, but we're starting. Stop covering it up. There's a wonderful line that says, you cannot get out of jail if you don't know you are in jail. We are all in jail. The invisible jail of the mind. The sooner we realize that we are in jail, the sooner we can get out. Sometimes it's easier to be in the physical jail because then you're going to go and find a lawyer and they'll try to get you out. We think we're free. And that's the problem. You will never get out if you don't know you're in it. That's scary. The good news for the rest of the folks didn't raise your hand. You don't have to go back to be a newborn. I realize that what we share with you is pretty deep, but it's pretty important because they are the structure that we're going to use to move forward. So we got to really comprehend. And then we're able to experience on it to say, aha, we understand it. Once we experience it, aha, that's what it's about. And so we need that.